3, 2, 1, go. What's up, dude?
Hey, not much. Just ready to discuss about SoleRuin itself, part two.
Yeah, I guess that'll be the topic. With this podcast, there's not really any set topic. We could talk about whatever, wherever the conversation goes, it goes.
That's true, but
Yeah,
I'm also part of the old history because what Jumps and AK has done was describe what today is like. I want to talk about the old generation from where I was new and stuff.
correct. Okay. Um, well, why don't you introduce yourself first? I know on Discord you are SwordGrayFire.
Why, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, my name is SwordGrayFire. People most knows me as Sean.
Hmm.
I'm a voice actor, sprite animator, and a sprite artist. Basically for peer entertainment, and I'm also one of the co-leaders who basically search out for like new Kirby animators and bring them into like the place where they can just gain friends and you know to get good. That's what I can say.
Yeah, let's go. It's funny that you sent the image you sent me. Happy birthday, Sean. It's actually my birthday tomorrow.
It is? Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah. When was your birthday?
My birthday was around March 7th.
Oh wow, so this is an older image.
It is
Uh,
an older image,
from
but it's
March.
also my favorite, like expressing of I like G Fuel and my Kirby.
Is that your character right there?
That is my character.
Did you draw that, or did someone draw that for you as a gift?
Someone else drawed me as that as a gift. Her name is Dragon Rolls.
Dragon Rolls.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dragon Rolls. I think I'm still in the SoleRuin, but like I'm in so many Discord channel servers that like I organize them and I don't. It's not possible for me to check everything. So how's
I
it
can
going in
understand
there
completely.
these days?
It's going great. Ever since I came back from a 2-month vacation,
Oh, nice.
it seems like there's been some situations that I don't want to get into while I was away, but they solved that already. So I'm just back. I'm just here to help. Even when I came back, I'm still doing like positive, like helping of the community and stuff.
Hmm.
Even when I was away, I was still helping out like in notorious way. I recently like made a background like pack 600 images for like backgrounds for sprite animations so people
Oh
don't have to
wow.
like search like, as deep as I did. So anyone can sprite animate if they like choose and love to.
How did you make the background pack? Was it just like did you draw everything, or was it previously
It
made
was
and then you
pre
just?
it was previously ripped.
Uh,
Most of I mostly got it from Spriter's resource,
oh, okay.
basically the website. So I basically went through all of like each of like the history itself to like each page and like looking to see what backgrounds were uploaded instead of
Hmm.
like knowing like because not all the backgrounds are uploaded unfortunately, but there was
What's
also some stuff that I like went to other websites and got from too.
what was the name of that first website you told me about? I'm gonna check it out.
Spriter's resource.
Writer's resource. Oh, that's cool. So are these assets like open source? Are they or are they like uh oh, it looks like they're all from previous games?
Yes.
Oh, wow, this is pretty amazing.
Yep. People who basically have the power of like ripping stuff from like, consoles and systems
Hmm.
basically put it on that like website.
Wow, that's super cool. And so I guess you just like grabbed a bunch of them and put them all together.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so I know you wanted to talk about history. First of all, you know that I am pretty much a foreigner to
Oh
SoleRuin.
yeah.
I've been in there. I'm acquainted with a few people. I talked to AK and Jumps. Jumps is the one who introduced me to the server, just so I have a place to like meet more people and also share some of my animations. Um, but you've been there since pretty much the beginning.
Basically 3 years after the beginning.
Oh, okay. So
So
how
we
did
can get
you?
to
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, so we can get into like the prehistory of SoleRuin, which is basically like the days where SoleRuin did exist, but there were still Kirby FCs. That one's a
Hmm.
hard like to explain, but I've seen like my own eyes of what it looked like back then,
But
and
by
it
the way,
is
what is an FC? A Kirby FC?
so Kirby F. So basically, we in the Kirby community like to call them FCs as fan characters because
Oh,
they're
fan
not really
characters.
original characters
Uh
per
huh.
se,
Right.
unless if you do something like quite original, like make a new species
Uh
based
huh.
off of Kirby. But we technically use the Kirby things like in or Kirby itself, and they're fan characters.
That makes sense because Kirby can literally be anything.
Yes.
Like according to the game's canon, Kirby can be any
Yep.
color, and isn't Meta Knight a Kirby technically?
Yes, he is also a puffball.
A
Basically,
puffball.
people with their own headcanons call him something else, and I'm just like, they're what now? You know?
Uh-huh. I
So,
see. I see. Um. Yeah. Just. Well, I guess tell me about how like you got introduced to SoleRuin and like your journey.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to be in a, like, when I was 10 years old, I used to be in like a forum area, like, for the River City Ransom community. It
Mhm.
was quite dead. I basically played a game called Kakuko Denetsu, which is basically based off an NES game, but it was like turned into a PC fan game, and you could like edit your own like characters and like stuff or stages into the game. And that's basically where I started. But since, everything was dying out, everybody was like gone. It was just me and like three or other people. Everyone was adults. I was just the only kid. So like, because everybody was too busy to like be doing like, this sort of thing. So I was just basically watching, sprite animations. Then I discovered like a funny sprite animation that is not on YouTube anymore, but it was basically like a Kirby doing the Tunak Tunak Toon dance, like to the song, and I was just like,
Nice.
"Yo, that's funny." So I basically checked this channel out, and there was like, you know, simple sprite animations, but then I noticed like a destruction series video, so I watched that, and everything changed from there.
Hmm.
I wanted to make a Kirby of my own too. So, and that's another place. I basically the start of the Kirby community was basically on DeviantArt. You know
Uh-huh.
that place for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a SoleRuin group on DeviantArt that basically started in 2010, and that's just a place where any Kirby fan could just post their stuff, and other Kirby fans can see and basically, get along with each other. But yeah,
Um who like what year was this when you got into it? Because you said 3 years before or 3 years
yes,
after it was like already made. But
yes.
what
I
year
got
did you
into the
join?
Kirby community in 2013.
Oh man. 7 years. How old are you now?
I'm 20.
20, nice.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 31 tomorrow.
Woo man.
So I'm like an old man.
Yeah, even some other sprite animators are turning 30 as well.
Nice. Yeah. It's a really like a classic type of animation. Like ever since like the Flash days. Do
Yep.
you guys still use Flash to animate? Like what's the main software that y'all are
Yes.
using?
So everybody except for me, because everybody gets on my case for this, but everybody uses Adobe CC to,
Uh-huh.
sprite animate. I, however, continue to use Flash 8.
Slash 8. Wait,
Yeah.
is that because you did you pay for it or was it pirated in the past or what?
Well, I basically got the same copy I had since I was 13 of
Uh-huh.
Flash 8, but it is also the program of like, hey, you want to get into animation? Here you go, Flash 8.
Yeah, because I tried it in the past. And I feel like yeah, for something like sprite animation, Flash is perfectly fine. I know that Flash in the past, I'm sure it's been improved now, but when I tried it, the actual brushing, because I wanted to do, I'm a
Ah,
frame by frame,
yes.
character animator, and the
Yes.
brush over it has like an autocorrect and it's really bad. Um,
Yeah, actually, some pro animators use flash shades, and they custom made their own brushing somehow.
yeah, that
That
makes
I
sense.
don't know how.
Yeah, they probably just tweaked with the like the settings,
Yeah,
but I was too lazy to do that.
a lot of people give like bad takes to flash shade, but people can actually animate really good in flash shade.
Yeah. The thing about CC isn't like Adobe in general, don't they have like a Creative Cloud like
Yes,
subscription? Like you have to pay for
yes.
it?
Why, yes.
I think it's totally overpriced when I checked it out.
Oh, it's definitely overpriced. I know a guy who pays for it.
Well,
Actually,
the
two
thing
people.
is, the Adobe Creative Suite is so powerful though because they have like all the programs, like
Yes,
what do you call it? Premiere, After Effects, all that stuff.
yes.
So I actually got the student version, which is CS 5.5.
Oh,
And that was right before CS6, and I think CS6 was the last one before they started doing the CC subscription.
it is.
Yeah, and it's silly because I mean, obviously one of the big problems with Adobe in the past was that like everyone would pirate it, and
Yeah.
like yeah, that's just kind of how it was. So I guess that's why they implemented the whole CC subscription thing. But yeah. Anyways, so you use that, and when you joined SoleRuin in the beginning, were they already making animations, or was it just like comics or characters or sprites or
There
what?
was already animations, but I couldn't figure out how to do that until like later in the summer when I
Hmm.
first started. So I was basically just doing simple comics and like Kirby like sprite recolors, but since I was beginning at that, I couldn't do it as great as I could.
Uh-huh. Did
But
you
yeah,
did you have
yeah,
a part in that one Kirby what was it, Rushed?
yes,
The
I was a
latest
part of
one?
Kirby Rush. Yes,
Oh
one
yeah.
and two.
That was sick.
Yes, I basically for Kirby Rush 1, I was basically the helper to basically gathering the old generation Kirby animators
Hmm.
to join the collabs just because I want to like hype things up, like the Maple Rush collabs.
Wow.
So far, only like few of them didn't comply, and one of them left during the collab, which made me really angry. But it's all right.
Um, I have a question. Uh,
Yes.
since I am a frame by frame character animator, I don't really have that much experience working with things like bones or transformations and things like that. And I know that in sprite animation, that's primarily the case. Um,
Uh.
what?
Well.
Well, tell me about it because I'm not familiar with the process.
Okay, so a lot of us sprite animators actually do frame by frame with a lot of things,
Oh.
especially with a bit of tweening here and there, but it doesn't hurt to like, use both and clean things up to
Hmm.
make it look pretty. But yes, frame by frame is typically what we do a lot. I never experienced with bones,
Oh.
especially like since, Flash 8. But even then, there are animators who are like can be really good like without using like any of like the bones or like tweens.
So how does it work then? Because if you're doing frame by frame, but you have a set of sprites already, right? Which you usually pre-make before you go into it.
Yes. Sometimes
Um.
people would pre-make, sometimes they would just go right into it with the idea they have.
Uh-huh. And what will they do? Like, will they if they need like a new pose or something, will they just draw it
Yeah,
and then put it in?
yeah, or typically like sometimes even in the past, people will take like pre-already made sprites and make it work
Hmm.
by like moving it around and stuff. That's how I was basically showing off to a new animator that you can take already pre like made sprites and like turn it upside down and just basically like use another sprite to like give it a turn and stuff and like optical illusion and all that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can
And sprite.
basically like take what you have, but you don't
Yeah,
have to make anything new out of it.
I see. And the sprites that you guys use, they're typically pixel art, right?
Yes.
That's that's like a lost art, I feel like. I feel like, when you go back to games like in the 90s, and I think even in the early 2000s they were already starting to end. But
Yeah.
like old school Nintendo and Capcom, Neo Geo, Sonic, those games had beautiful, beautiful pixel art, and I feel like it's a lost art. And I'm happy that there's a community like SoleRuin that's still doing it. And I know it's
Oh
not really
yeah.
like really intense. I mean, does anyone in the community do like background pixel art,
No.
or is it mostly
No,
the characters?
it's mostly the characters or like the custom bases.
Okay.
Um it would be nice if we like could find a background like, pixel artist because we do have like a fighting game like we're working on
Oh, for
and we're
real? Oh man, I want to talk.
yeah.
I want to hear about this.
Okay, so we have a fighting game called Kirby Battle Blitz. I can get into the history of that name as well.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Okay. So in the start of the DeviantArt days, we basically made like fan made, like what if like fighting game like images or Smash Bros like, have our Kirby's in it,
Uh huh.
highlight and stuff. And it was one of the years somewhere I wanted to like prank people and be like, "Yo, there's this cool fighting game coming out."
Hmm.
So I made an animation about it, like showing like the GUI the the like the title and stuff and like the inside of the game and the characters.
Uh huh.
And then after the game loads, it just cuts off to the there was a meme going on back then with the Hotel Mario. So yeah, so basically people thought, the Kirby battle, I mean, okay, the original game that I called was Star Warrior Edge Star cuz wanted to call it something different.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people wanted the game to be real.
I mean, it can be.
Oh yeah, it can be.
Wait, are
People
are there any
tried.
programmers in the community?
Uh Yes and no.
Uh huh.
MCQ is learning programming in Unity,
Yeah.
which is what we tried to do for like the said fighting game was to make it in Unity, but that didn't work out. So we
Okay.
went to Mugen, and
Oh, okay.
it's doing really great in the Mugen engine.
Yeah, Mugen's a classic. Yeah, I guess it's not too hard to. I've actually never tried implementing anything into Mugen. I feel like I should try it out though because I already have fighting game sprites like with my original characters.
Yeah, I've seen him when I was at Jumps' house.
Right. Yeah, and I know that my friend Nick is a programmer and he already has an engine in ClickTeam Fusion. I probably, you know what? Never mind. It's probably a waste of time for me to do Mugen because he already has an engine. Um,
Okay.
but anyway, it seems like pretty easy to implement characters into Mugen because they already have an engine and you kind of just put in the images and like whatever commands happen with the buttons and hitboxes and stuff like that, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even then, the coding could be really hard if you want something specific.
Do you have to code it yourself in Mugen or?
That's what Jalen Bra is doing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Jalen Bra. He's doing a fantastic job on the coding for Mugen, especially Zack Attack 27. They're
Hmm.
both doing a great job coding in Mugen.
I don't know any of these people, dude, but shout out to all of you.
Yeah, dude.
Um, I wish we can get like another. It would be cool to get another person in here. Uh,
You're right.
but yeah, I don't know. It's up to you.
It's some other time. Well, basically when Kirby Battle Blitz comes out, we can discuss like all the history and like development like between that and stuff.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
So yeah, that game is in works. We basically have a couple of characters down. Basically, it's the choosing between old school Kirby FCs and the new generation Kirby FCs and the popular ones.
Hmm.
So
Um,
yeah,
are there any like big community projects happening right now?
why yes, there is actually. So far, my collab that will be coming out in 2 years is Kirby Generations.
Ah,
I
what's
can
that
explain
about?
that one. So basically, the new generation animators, I gather them to fight the old school Kirby FCs that I like. Basically, got permission to ask old creators that, hey, can the new generation animators fight your Kirby? And that's basically the collab. It's based off of Maple Generations, which is basically old school Maple animators with their characters and new generation animators fighting them.
Maple as in Maple Story, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so that's like it's like how does that work when you say fight each other? It's making an animation, right? But do the people work on it together like as a collab or
It's more of like a tribute, like in honoring the old animator.
oh.
So showing like something like, hey, your character is about to live on like for good. Let's make a collab where it shows like the old school like characters from like back in my day.
Mhm.
Basically being a collab where they fight like new Kirby FCs and stuff and giving them like the best honor and representation of what they can do.
I feel like there's such deep history to this because when you talk about generations, that means that I mean, like you said, it's the community's been around for like what 10 years, right?
Yes.
And that means there were people in the very beginning. Are they like still around? Are most of them still around?
Most of them are still around. Yes.
Wow, there's such dedication.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so tight. Like what I'm trying to discover, because again, it's so foreign to me. Um, okay, here's a question. How do you guys come up with like the designs and powers? Could it be
Oh,
literally
that's
anything?
That's a good question, actually. Yes, it can be literally anything that the creator desires. Really, basically, even from back in the day, we just got the simple like creative powers like fire, ice, lightning, and all that.
Hmm.
There's a lot of them, or even wind. That's why Age was so special because he basically was the like first Kirby FC to like appear in a popular phase with like time powers.
Hmm.
So basically, he like could stop time or like do super dashes like within time and stuff.
That's
And
sick.
basically, since Age was so popular, even people tried copying that.
What is your character here? I see with the blue and the hat and the
Oh
ears.
yes, his name is Yoru Masaru.
for the
He's
most.
basically like a cat hybrid, puffball character.
Uh huh.
Uh, he basically wields a sword and basically can do martial arts power, like martial arts moves.
That's sick.
He what?
That's sick.
Yeah. So he has a power. It's just that he can't use it, or else he would die.
I feel like if I were to make one, I would have like some kind of hammer powers, something
Ooh.
with a big hammer.
Yeah, big hammer actually sounds pretty cool.
Does that
So,
already exist in the Kirby realm? Because I know DDD
uh,
has a big hammer.
yeah, DD has a big hammer. There's also like a Kirby, like that can wield a big hammer. Actually, Sky the Star Hero back in the day, his character could wield like a hammer as like a move or
Uh huh.
something. So it was like unlikely people could wield hammers as moves for Kirby's, but it is
Do you
definitely uncommon.
do you guys do like RP with your characters or anything like that?
Other people do. I used to, and I got bored of it.
Okay.
I just lost interest, but other people can still do that and basically develop their character like that.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys do like character sheets with lore and stuff like that for your
Yes,
characters?
yes, people can
Wow,
do that too and stuff like that.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I like to do it through animation.
Does anyone have like multiple OCs or do you
Oh,
usually
yeah,
pick one?
definitely.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Sky the Star Hero himself, he has a sprite series that's full of Kirby FCs, even original characters too that he made.
Wow.
Basically over like 200 now, I think.
Mhm.
So he has a lot. Basically, just for story wise, it's a really good series too.
The thing that really um interests me is like why Kirby, because I know there's fandoms for everything. Like there's a Sonic fandom,
Oh yeah,
Steven Universe fandom, Star Wars fandom. Like the Kirby fandom, like, oh, okay, first of all, I know that SoleRuin isn't the entire Kirby fandom, right?
it's
Um
not.
but like how big is the Kirby fandom, and like why, I
So that's a good question.
yeah.
The reason why people get into Kirby is let's start with Destruction series for example.
Okay.
He basically made a Kirby that's green and purple with a hat and basically just wanted to animate, kicking butt with this like with them.
Mhm.
And it was the one day he created he opened up like a Pandora's box. He made a
Oh.
contest.
Oh, uh-huh.
So the contest was, like anybody's Kirby FC can be animated by him's like his truly or being like one of his, canceled series at the time.
Okay.
So everybody basically was getting into Flash and making Kirby FCs were like, "Oh, I got to be in DS's animation."
I
So,
see.
yeah.
Okay,
But
that's super cool. So was he the first to do
he
something
is
like
not the
that?
first actually. The
Oh.
first I ever seen like a Kirby FC that existed was 2002.
Mhm.
And boy, oh boy, when I saw the history of like old school Kirby FCs, like from early to 2002, 2003, it shocked me.
How
Cause
was the
like
level of animation compared to now?
there wasn't really any Kirby sprite animations back in the early days at all. It was just drawn art or poorly
Oh,
made
wow.
pixel art.
2002. I mean, was sprite animation, I mean, I'm sure it was possible back then, but was it like commonplace? Cuz I
Not
back
for
then,
Kirby though.
yeah, all there was, I don't even know if there was like flash programs that were widespread back then.
I mean, there was Newgrounds, but not even that is recorded onto Newgrounds.
Yeah. Shout out to Newgrounds.
Yeah, dude, shouts to
It's
Newgrounds.
still popular too.
Yeah, I mean, not popular with sprite animation, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of like, mature stuff now in Newgrounds. I mean, it's always been
oh,
there, but it's very popular there too.
oh yeah, definitely. The reason why there's old history of Kirby FCs is because there used to be a forum site called Kirby's Rainbow Resort.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know anything about the website, but someone in SoleRuin does because he's actually older than all of us who've been on the forum site before. So he knows the true history of the Kirby FCs way back in the day.
Uh-huh.
So he's the only one that we know of so far who's old school before SoleRuin.
I see. What was his name again?
His name is Splooshy.
Splooshy.
Yes.
So I've heard Splooshy, something destruction series.
Yes, Destruction Series was one of the first people to animate like Kirby in 2009.
Mhm.
He and Lone Alchemist basically teamed up to make SoleRuin Incorporated, which predates to February 8th, 2010.
Wow. Why incorporated it? Well, like, who came up with the name?
Basically, Soul means, like the Lone Alchemist sort of thing, and Ruin means, destruction series and all that. So,
Oh, I see. I see.
basically, the whole Soul Ruin like meaning is what begins with alchemy shall end in destruction.
Oh, that's pretty epic.
So yeah, that's basically like how their title is for Soul
That's
Ruin.
cool. I
Yeah.
see. How many members are there now?
Let's see. The server itself is like 440 like something. The DeviantArt page, it's 681 members.
Holy smokes!
So yeah,
What's like the age range
the age range could be like 13 to like whatever.
to like my age or older?
Yeah,
I see. Yeah, I mean Kirby's been around for a while, ever since I was a kid. Um,
yeah, same.
you know what? The thing is, I think one of the reasons why it was difficult for me to like really incorporate myself into that community is because I've actually never played a Kirby game. I played, I played Crystal Shards on the N64 when it came out. It was like rental on Blockbuster. Uh, uh,
Dude, Blockbuster.
yeah, I only played like a little bit of it. But I actually have on the Switch the SNES Virtual Console, and there is like a couple
Yes.
old Kirby games on there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I played those when I was
Yeah.
like vacationing.
So yeah, I don't know like how Kirby works.
Kirby works pretty simple. The way Sakurai handled it was just to make like a simple, fun game that isn't too hard. Just to like have power ups and stuff.
Mhm.
Kirby, the cute, adorable Nintendo character.
Wait, what is this about? You know how some people do those things in Smash Bros. Um like how powerful is each character canonically? You know, and they make their
Yes,
tier list and stuff. Why is Kirby
yes.
usually at the top?
That's because Kirby is technically sort of a god in a way.
Like
Well,
how
okay,
so? Like is it
okay.
because he can
So
absorb
he can
whatever?
beat gods. He actually in the games he can beat gods like himself.
Uh huh.
So he beaten like Nightmare, he beaten like Zero Two, which is another god, and he beat like other gods in like multiple games that I haven't not even played. But yeah,
Like how does the power scaling work? Like what makes them gods? Do like could they control reality? Do they what do they do?
Kirby just basically like absorb things and is strong. Uh,
Or no, I meant like the gods that he fights.
oh, so yeah, basically like what you said, like Nightmare, control of dreams,
Uh-huh.
uh, Zero. Actually, I don't know much about Zero Two. Um, there was the one from Squeak Squad.
Hmm.
He basically can like take control over people and had like an eyeball or something. I don't know. I never really follow through like on those like Kirby enemies as much as the true Kirby fans. I just basically animate Kirby.
You know what I think would be a really cool idea? Since you guys have such a big
Yeah,
community and it's already so popular, what if
yeah.
you guys had like your own podcast, like to just for
A-
you guys to talk to each other?
Actually, that's basically what someone did back in the day around 2016.
Oh, so they already happened?
It happened, but it wasn't as popular per se. I
Hmm.
think it should come back though, because
Yeah,
it
you guys should
definitely
start.
there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot to talk about in SoleRuin.
Yeah. Because me, I just talk about, the general topic of like getting good, right? That's my podcast name and topic.
Yeah, getting
Um,
good. And that's basically what SoleRuin is too. It's basically, hey, come to our community, we'll get you good.
yeah, and you guys like help each other, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
Getting
definitely.
better at
I like to
animation.
help people out.
Yeah. Um, so like, uh, are there like total beginners that come in?
Yes, there are total beginners who come in, such as the Yeet Man. The Yeet Man is actually like a great like kid who came into SoleRuin. He's like full of energy and positive and stuff.
I love that
I'm
name,
glad for him. Yeah, dude, I love the name too. He
Yeet Man.
actually is becoming like a sprite animator too.
Cool.
So it's nice to see like the new gens who are like, once watching us like back in the day, growing up to like joining us and like becoming sprite animators too to keep the tradition like going, which is what I really hoped for, and glad it succeeded.
And who just a curious question. Not to I don't want you to like rank them or anything like that, but who would you
Oh
say
yeah,
are
definitely.
like the really talented, like experienced animators in there? I know Assassinate is one of them because I talked to her. But who else is
Well,
there that's like super good? And I know I don't want you to feel bad like leaving anyone out because I'm sure tons of people are
oh,
great.
there's a lot, but what appears on my mind right now is MCQ Square. He's
Hmm.
like one of the top like animators like in the Kirby community.
Hmm.
There are multiple ones such as like KA Reloaded.
Uh-huh.
He good one. There's also Classic TV. He made a comeback. He's also an old generation Kirby guy
Hmm.
who finally came back now. He's really good too. But there's there's a couple that are really good, like uh, uh, Zack Attack. He recently joined the Kirby community.
Hmm.
Like he's been a Maple Story animator for like a long time, but basically since Kirby Rush 2, he made like a fan character based
Uh-huh.
off of Burning Leo enemy. And yeah, so I guess you could count him as a really good animator.
You mentioned Maple Story animators. I know that they're like each fandom. Well, I think the trend that I'm noticing is that the fandoms of these games, because I know there's also Sonic FCs,
Yes.
Mario FCs,
Yes.
and then one thing I've noticed more recently that a lot of kids are watching. I actually have a couple brothers-in-law that are like one of them's 12, I think, or 11, and then the other one's like 7 years old, and they
Yeah.
watch a lot of Minecraft fan
Oh yeah,
animations.
Minecraft.
Yeah, that one's big. And I guess I can relate in the sense that I'm making my own fighting game right now, but at its core, it's inspired by Street Fighter. And there are a lot of like Street Fighter, not necessarily FCs, but like sprite animations as well. And it's like one of the, I mean, it is the OG fighting game,
Oh
really.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but we come from a generation of kids that grew up playing 2D games, and like the something about the beauty of the visuals of it, the way it moves, um, like there's something uh there's something like relatable and cartoony about it that we just connect with and resonate with, and we want to like bring it back even into our adulthood. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
yeah. So basically, what you're describing there is what Maple animators, especially like Crazy Chris Tyler,
Hmm.
their style is like influenced by Street Fighter Third Strike,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which is one of the greatest like Street Fighter games out there, actually.
yeah. It's really good. I mean, especially I think it had some of the highest level animation in particular, especially
Yes.
sprite animation.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. It's a masterpiece, I think. And what makes me sad is that I think after that generation of fighting games, like that one, Capcom versus SNK 2, Marvel versus Capcom 2, uh, 2D animation in games mostly died out. And
Yeah.
the ones that are still happening are mostly like kind of like tribute pieces in a way. There's like Streets of Rage, there's Celeste, um,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Skullgirls, Indivisible. It's almost like they're trying to play on the nostalgia. I think the one of the only ones that like they really tried to bring something new to the table um was Cuphead. Uh
Yeah, Cuphead is basically just like Contra.
yeah, I think it's a tribute piece, but the combination of ideas with the whole old, 1920s, 30s, 40s animation, that's like a new idea.
That is
Yeah.
like it's really cool.
Um so I know that Kirby FCs in general, it's basically fan art in the form of
Yeah.
pretty advanced animation.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, but like, what do you think? What are some people coming up with like super new ideas? Like, because the thing is when fan art, like good fan art, good original fan art is usually some bringing something new to the table. And what are some like cool powers or cool designs that come to mind when it comes to like Kirby FCs? Because I know, like you said, the 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 sky's the limit as far as like
First
imagining something.
first things first is color theory.
Hmm.
Basically, we're in the new age where basically instead of spriting like in MS Paint, we actually use A Sprite now for like better spriting.
Uh-huh.
Uh, we're figuring out how to do like back in the day we didn't have the good idea of like what color theory was and stuff for like making like recoloring Kirby sprites. We just did what we could.
Hmm.
But now I've seen people like make some really good like Kirby designs just with the basic like stylizing with their own colors.
Wow.
And that's how I thought, like there was a limit to it, but there's actually past the limit to Kirby FCs.
When you talk about color theory, are you talking about like the stuff that's taught in classical color and design classes, like with complementary colors and stuff like that, and the
Half of that
the color
actually.
wheel and triadic colors and stuff like that?
Basically, yeah. So like, taking like red to like, shading it down to like dark purple and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, hmm.
Or like making like green to like blue for like, colors.
Yeah, I see. I love this actually because
Yeah.
y- it's very apparent in a lot of I think character design in general. There are two things that really make a good character design.
Yeah.
The first one is silhouette. Uh, but the thing is, I'm thinking about Kirby, and you can't really get that much variation in silhouette. I suppose you can, but at the end of the day, they're all based on the puffball, right?
Yeah.
But so I can see now because the other thing besides silhouette is color. The thing that really pops out when you see a good character design is like what color are they? And
Yes. And
that's one thing that
there's
can
a lot
really
of
really
blue
stand out.
Kirby's.
A lot of blue.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of blue Kirby's.
Even like Smash Bros has like a pretty good variation of colors.
Yeah.
They have the dark one with yellow eyes.
Yeah, that's based off of a Mennonite.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, I wonder what I would pick if I made a Kirby.
That's a good question. We can help you make one.
Dude, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah, like, dude, even like help the Maple people be like, "Yo, we can make you a Kirby."
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that
Sweet,
right
yeah,
now.
dude.
I'm not gonna draw it right now, but I want to get the idea in my head. Like,
Honestly, yeah, let's go for it. I'm sure
yeah,
Jumps would appreciate that.
yeah, help me
He
out.
he has a
So,
waddle do, so
oh, Waddle do like you can do that too.
yes, you can make like FCs out of like Kirby enemies too.
Oh, huh.
So like a Poppy Bro, a Waddle Dee, Waddle Do.
What about DDD? He's like his own thing, though, right? That do people
That's the
normally?
thing. There are Waddle, I mean, King DDD FCs, but like it's really hard to like actually like make an FC out of like DDD since he's a penguin.
Right. I
I've
can't.
made
I don't
one
want to. I
before.
actually don't want to do DDD because I think the canon, what Sakurai says, is that the reason DDD doesn't absorb powers is because he's already perfect. Right.
Yes.
That's what he says. So I don't want to do a DDD.
Yeah, nah, he's already perfect the
He's
way he
already
is.
perfect. Okay, I'll make a Kirby.
Cool.
Um, what
And he
is the
like
thought process?
so the thought process could be like, what kind of hair, what kind of hat, what kind of eyes, what kind of shoes, anything on the gloves or stubs.
Can Kirby be male or female
Yes.
or whatever? Yeah, it
Or
could
yeah,
be.
what
Could
or
be.
whatever, really.
Yeah.
It could be whatever you want, really. That's
Okay,
the fun
I'll
in it.
I'll do a male Kirby.
Okay. What color?
And whew, that's a big one already. That's
Yeah,
such a
there's a lot of like, colors to choose for like a body of a Kirby and the feet.
yeah. You know what color I really like?
Yeah.
You know the green Arizona can? It's like a light
Yeah.
teal.
Oh, that color. Ooh, I can. Okay, so back in the day, is hard to like make like a color out of that.
Uh-huh.
But like with color theory we have now and like hue shifting and stuff like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's possible. Like
Yeah.
to like make a good like body color out of that. Yeah.
I love that color. I use that a lot in my own original characters. I am actually I feel like I overuse it, but I love that color.
I mean, if
Um
if you overuse it, I think it should be stylized for your Kirby.
yeah, you're right. That would be mine. Um So what's it? Okay, so I got a color. What's the thought process that goes into picking hats? Is the hat usually correlated with powers?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Basically, just a hat like in design, really.
Oh, just whatever you want.
Sometimes we take the hats from like the previous Kirby copy abilities and just
Hmm.
work with that, or we could be fancy and just like take a hat that we like and sprite it onto it.
When Kirby absorbs stuff, like I just want to think about the canon here, because when I do storytelling, I usually want a character incorporated into a some kind of world, and I want to go with the Kirby canon here. Now, is there a size limit on what Kirby can absorb?
Um, Not particularly. I
Can
think
Kirby absorb like the
he
Pokemon Gyarados if he wanted to?
he can.
Okay.
He definitely he basically absorbed like something so big that he like spat out the supernova or something in like the games.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Okay.
Kirby's he can like go whatever he can do, like inhaling and stuff.
Okay, so there's no limit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if I were a Kirby, what would I inhale? Does Kirby have like taste buds? Does he enjoy the taste of
Oh, he
things?
enjoys food. He loves food.
Okay, okay, okay,
I
okay. We're
mean, he
getting
gets
we're getting
mad if you try
somewhere.
to take his cake.
Okay. I like burgers.
Hmm.
One of
Okay.
my it's one
Okay.
of my favorite foods.
Yeah, Burger Kirby.
Ooh, I got one. I got one.
Yeah.
You're from California, right?
Of course.
The In-N-Out burger hat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I would do that.
Oh yeah, dude. I like that. I like that thought process.
Yeah, yeah. I like this. Um
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's it. I think
That's a pretty good design right there. I mean, they basically
yeah.
got like a creative like hat.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's genius.
What about
I'm
like
impressed.
what about the shoes? Does it really I mean that matters too. That's part of the design.
It does. Basically,
Yeah.
anybody can choose like any style of shoes. It's the creativity. Uh, a guy we know in SoleRuin goes as a Retridati. He made like some cool sneakers that like exceed the limits of
Hmm.
Kirby shoes, like on the sprite itself.
You know what? I feel like I want to change my color
Yeah,
because now that I have the In-N-Out hat, I want to go with the theme of like maybe a white or
a
yellow
white and
or
red,
red.
a white and yellow and red.
Yeah, maybe white, a white Kirby with the In-N-Out burger hat, and the In-N-Out burger hat already has red on it, so I would need some kind of. I don't know if the hat has yellow on it. Maybe just black feet.
Black feet. Oh, so basically like
The
the
Smash
black and
Bros.
white Kirby.
Yeah, the black and white Kirby. I like the black and white Kirby with an In-N-Out burger hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So basically, like it's like the red hat, but with like the white on it.
yeah, yeah.
Like okay, yeah.
And then how about powers? How do people like? I don't even know the range of
So
powers that Kirby has in the games. I know there's so
so
many.
basically the powers can exceed to like anything you like within like a character.
Hmm.
Like my character's power is basically just inner power that can exceed like his own limits, and once he's done with it, he's basically dead.
Oh
So he
wow,
doesn't use
that's
yeah, he
intense.
doesn't use his power. That's why he basically just sticks with the sword and kung fu skills.
Have you done any animations where he like actually uses it and dies, or does he come
I
back to life,
want
or
to
what?
so okay, so the reason why he can use it and still be alive is because his childhood friend is the Grim Reaper.
Wow.
So like it's my friend's character, so basically like a childhood friend who be like basically disappeared for like no reason is actually the Grim Reaper with like hellfire power and a scythe and all that.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's
And
really stylish.
that's basically his job, is just being a Grim Reaper.
Okay,
So basically that's just his childhood friend basically like, hey, it's too soon for you to die and your power is stupid.
I see. I see. That's very stylish. Grim Reaper powers.
Yeah,
I like that. I feel like mine is a little bit troll, but like
there's
whenever
a
I
lot of troll
do,
Kirby's.
oh yeah, for sure. Um, whenever I do world building or character building, I always want it to make sense. So, in my mind, what I'm thinking about is a Kirby rolling up to In-N-Out, and just straight up absorbing like the guy at the cash register, right? Or
Jeez.
maybe even spitting out that guy and then absorbing the manager. Just get the manager.
No,
Um,
no. Like, what if absorbing the secret formula?
yo of the sauce,
Oh, even better. Yeah, the
the
sauce.
sauce. Oh man, maybe just the owner of In-N-Out. I don't know. I don't. Some In-N-Out guy who
The
knows.
creator of In and Out.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So Mike Kirby absorbed the creator of In-N-Out Burger, knows the secret sauce, knows the the way the restaurant
Basically took
works.
over the In and Out chain, and now he is, the
Yeah.
creator.
All right, so I think it has to be a spatula,
Yeah, dude, a
like the weapon of
spatula.
choice. Yeah,
Yeah, the weapon spat. Okay, I like that.
because you got to
I
flip the
like this.
burgers.
I like
Yeah.
this a lot because we don't really have any like food chains in the Kirby universe. So
Yeah.
this would be good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's got to be a spatula, and I feel like it would be such a waste. I don't want to throw burgers. I mean I feel like it would just fight with the spatula.
Yeah, fighting with the spatula would be fine. You could like do pretty cool techniques with the spatula.
Yeah.
And then, the universe world of animation, everybody fights really good.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a lot of sword styles out there. I feel like with a spatula, you would just have like, it's almost like it's very light, but it's shaped like an axe. So you can get a
It
lot of
is.
cool, stylish movement with that.
Oh yeah, it is very much so. That's why I really like this idea.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got. Oh, names. How do you come up with a name?
Oh, so names is a tough one. Basically for me, I can like go with like any sort of like name. There was an era in SoleRuin back in the day where people basically just choose Japanese names on a Kirby.
Oh, okay. Wait, is
So,
it really popular to do a Japanese name?
uh not anymore these days now.
Oh, so people just have like
It
whatever name they
basically
want.
died out. Like, so basically anybody can have like a name that's unique or just a simple name.
Isn't Kirby's Japanese name would be Kabi or
Yeah, Kabi. Yeah.
Kabi? Kabi?
Yeah. Yeah, so Kabi and stuff. So yeah, basically like you can have like a simple like name
I
or
think
like
my name would be Baga.
Ooh.
Baga, like
I
burger.
Yeah, Baga.
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 Yeah,
Baga.
we got it. Baga.
Baga.
Dude, thank you. I feel like
Dude, we just created something right then and there, and it's simple, it's enjoyable, it
yeah.
helps out the entire community.
Have
Baga.
you have you actually done this with other people? Like help them make their characters?
Yes.
Okay, you do. Okay, I feel like that happens a lot in the Soul Ruin when people are trying to come up with their ideas.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we just basically just have fun with them and stuff.
You see, what we did right now helped me really understand like why Soul Ruin is important, why it's popular, and
Yeah.
why people get so into it. Because Kirby is, I mean, he's a blank slate, right? And like
Oh yeah.
that's basically what Sakurai meant him to be. Is he could be anything.
Yes.
So when you make random characters with random powers, that's basically what Kirby's meant to be. Could be anything.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and Kirby, whenever you want, could spit it out and become something else.
Yes.
Uh, and that's kind of the beauty of it. So what we did just now is like I made the Kirby that I wanted to have, and like the creative process in that is very appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets people started into the whole world of like world building, character design. Um, like it doesn't have to be Kirby. Like a lot of these people in the community could move on
Yeah,
to
that's the
do.
thing.
Yeah,
A lot of people in the Solar community like move on to like even like more creative stuff, and we like accept that. Like we basically just like, okay, hey, you're improving, you're moving on,
yeah,
and if they want to leave, we just give them a good like goodbye, and then we basically just move on until like a new generation like comes in, we welcome and train them.
right, right. When I first started doing my own original characters, I must have been maybe like 12 or 13 when I started making up stuff. I think some of my oldest OCs, there was like this one guy with a big sword. He was basically inspired by Cloud from Final Fantasy
Yeah, dude,
VII.
that was basically how my Kirby was inspired by. It was Cloud and
Oh,
Ichigo.
really?
Yeah,
With a big sword?
yeah,
Dude, big swords are awesome.
yeah. That's what my Kirby wields is just a big sword.
I don't even know. Like, there's probably some history in real life of like great swords, but they almost make no
Excalibur.
sense. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know in real medieval history they have like Zweihanders, like armor breaking swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
So yeah,
yeah.
basically that's the thought process of making a Kirby FC within the SoleRuin community itself.
Hmm.
And that's why we had like, a DeviantArt group just to show off like, Kirby fan art, Kirby fan characters, comics, animations, literature, miscellaneous and stuff.
I think I
We
see
even
it
had a
now.
website.
Is it gone now?
It's gone now, yeah. I really want to like bring it back. Like since SoleRuin is becoming so popular,
Hmm.
I want to bring back the forum site so anybody can join in and post there and like just have a good time.
Dude, yeah. Well, I mean, nowadays you still have Discord,
Oh
right?
yeah, we
That's
have Discord, but like that's just like a chatting place and
Yeah,
stuff to
that's
show it
true.
off.
That's true. Yeah, there should be. Maybe there's like some kind of. You guys can set
But
up like a
another
website with
thought
like an art
process is
gallery.
that like comics, yeah, art gallery comics, like I
Yeah,
really want to
comics.
promote the comics sort of thing for SoleRuin
Yeah,
website
yeah, 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 yeah.
and teach people how to make comics.
Do you make any yourself?
I don't, but I know how to. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fairly simple, and I know that the comic industry and animation industry are just so closely linked because they're pretty much the same thing when you think about it. Like all an
Yes.
animation is a story that's moving. A comic is a story that uses still images, but it's telling the same kind of story. You can still tell action in a comic, you
Oh
know?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even within a sprite comic too.
So I feel like if people get into comics, that would complement their animation skills, and if they get
Yes.
better at animation, it will complement their comic skills.
Yes. It
Yeah.
it helps all around. That so basically when I was gone for 2 months, I was basically thinking of like, hey, comics should make a return.
Hmm. Hmm.
If people can't like really animate that well or just choose want to do something different, comics is where it's at because I want to read something and like, it'd be fun.
One thing I was gonna say is that I can completely see the appeal now, and I can understand it because my one of my initial questions is like I know you and Jumps are really like passionate about this community, and I
Yes.
didn't quite see it at first because I'm like, man, this is Kirby. It feels like a fandom where a bunch of kids get in and start making their ideas, but I see how it can evolve, and even though you're all adults now,
Yeah.
it evolves into like a creative outlet, and
Yep.
we everyone needs that. I feel because
Yes.
life is just so dry if you don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I had a lot of fun just now making my little character.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. We
I already
basically
have like
came
an
up with an
emotional
idea.
attachment
Yes. Yeah,
to
I'll
Baga,
help you with the sprite with it too.
dude. I feel like I could just draw some like a drawing.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
so basically like I want to make like a SoleRuin anime opening sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And like the section of like having fun within a community. If
Hmm.
like if I were to see like food place, he's gonna Baga is gonna like just be a part of it, just like serving burgers to like the people eating the food.
Yo, yeah, that'd be perfect.
So we have something that's very helpful to the community now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And if you challenge him, he's just gonna fight you with a spatula.
Yeah, he's basically just gonna fight you. He'll spank you with the spatula.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I feel it now. I totally feel it.
Yeah,
And
see now you feel it with the Kirby.
yeah, so I feel like now I feel like I could just like scroll around and see people's ideas. Like I'm actually gonna like bring up the Discord right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna like scroll through. Is there a section where people talk mostly about like creating their characters?
Yes. Literature library in the creative section is where
Literature
you can
library.
like discuss about your character backstories, abilities, world building, and looking for ideas to develop.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
that's basically it. Speaking of like being in a guy who moves on from SoleRuin, we
Mhm.
used to have like a really good animator back in the day. You ever seen the animator on Twitter known as Blue Shade?
Blue Shade. No, I haven't heard of that one. I may
Okay,
have, but because I follow a lot of different animators.
he's the guy who made like the Earthbound animation, like quickly and stuff, or the
Hmm.
Pokemon like animation throwing like the Woosley or something like the sheep Pokemon.
I can't find the
Uh,
Twitter link. I'd search Blue Shade, but it's a different guy. Is it spelled a certain way?
it should be. It's there should be like blue underscore shade, like
Blue, oh,
without the e.
underscore.
Yep, BLU underscore shade.
Shade. Uh, game designer? Is he a game
Uh,
designer?
no, no. It's
Might be a different one. Wait,
this
blue
guy.
with no E?
Yeah, with no E.
Oh, blue with no E. Blue underscore shade. Oh, I found him. Oh, I
Yeah.
have seen this guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I follow
So
him already.
he used to be a Kirby sprite animator back in the day too.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, this guy's amazing.
Of course, he moved on,
So he was in
and like,
SoleRuin before?
yes,
Oh, man.
I actually have his Kirby FC too. He's basically the brother of my own Kirby FC.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
So you guys are friends?
yes,
Dude, yeah, this guy's totally a Sakuga animator. This is beautiful.
yeah. So he's really good. Like, not a lot of people know like about him, like being like a SoleRuin like animator, but I
Yeah,
guess
I know there's have you heard of Guzu?
No, actually, I haven't.
Okay, so Guzu, it's either Guzu or Guzzu. He is a Sakuga animator. Now he works on anime and stuff like that. But he used to be a stick figure animator, and
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
started out with sticks. And I feel like yeah, this is like if people want to get into animation as a career,
Wow.
communities like SoleRuin and Hyun's Dojo and stuff like that are
And
really
Maple Nation
important.
too.
Maple Nation, yeah. And I'm sure there's Sonic fandoms out there who do animation, sprite animation.
Oh yeah.
This is how you get started. If you want to make animation as a career, this is totally the path that you can take. Because
Yeah.
you have a community that's promoting it.
Yeah, it's yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of like really good animators came out of Maple Nation.
I think this is where you and I connect because we come from such different communities. I came from like Smash Bros, Street Fighter fighting game community.
Yeah.
I mean it's not that far apart, but I mean
It's not that far
SoleRuin,
apart. It's basically
yeah.
the same of how we look into it and inspire animation off of like.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
And
that's yeah.
yeah, seeing this Blue Shade guy is really inspiring.
Yeah, dude, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Um it's awesome because I'm on the cusp. I always feel like I'm just on the cusp. I'm 31 now. I'm still fairly young in my career, and I know how to animate, and I know like there's a lot of stuff I can still work on.
Yeah.
But there's like, again, sky's the limit. Like someone could get just extremely amazing, like on this level that Blue Shade is showing, with a Kirby sprite, and Kirby is actually fairly easy to animate. He's
Blue
mostly
Shade's actually really young. He's like in his 20s now.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of like really talented like Sakuga animators that are super
Yeah.
young. Um, I notice his style is a very sort of cartoony. He uses very simple shapes. A
Yes.
lot of
He animated for
rectangular
Trigger
shapes.
actually.
Oh, he works for Trigger, or worked.
He doesn't work for it, but he animated for Trigger.
Oh,
He
okay.
animated for the one show,
It looks like
SSS
SSS
Gridman.
Gridman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful style that show.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. See, and I'm part of a community called Zetai Absolute, which is they're all really advanced. I'm actually one of the I just lurk in there because they're all so good that I just lurk and look at what they're doing. Um,
Oh, okay.
but like
Oh, Zetai Absolute. That's the one with QTP versus T1.
yes, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really that active in the community because they're just also talented. And I don't really post that much animation because a lot of them get professional work and post their professional work. For me, I
Yeah.
don't get paid to do animation that often. It's just like usually Twitch commissions, for like alert animations, and I don't really post them.
Uh,
I feel like I am working on one though with Super Psychic Royale with my original characters.
ooh, okay.
It's just gonna be like a very short fight scene, and not really that much fighting, just like some action sequences. And it's only gonna be like maybe 5 seconds long or 10 seconds.
Okay.
But I feel like it's something I could post there in Zetai because I feel like I would finally be posting something at that level.
Yeah, a lot of people actually who do Kirby SCs like know about SoleRuin and think like I'm not ready to be in SoleRuin yet. We had like some people who think they were not ready for SoleRuin, but I
Hmm.
just end up dragging them into SoleRuin anyway.
I see. Yeah, sometimes it can be nerve wracking when you see such talent and people
Yeah.
are afraid to like show what they're doing. But the thing is that everyone is going to be supportive because no one's going to like talk crap about, you know, new animators. They're going to be supportive.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, if someone does talk crap, I'll probably ban them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, we just call them out on for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm sure there are places where criticism is welcome, and if people ask for it,
Yeah, that's why we have the critique like role in SoleRuin, where if you ping it, basically the people who have the role would like come like to help.
I see, I see. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I see that there's a animation alleyway.
Yep,
Uh,
an art like critique role.
yeah. Oh, this is so cool, actually. I'm looking at this one Panzer Demo 2, uh, Air Super Wing 001.
Yeah, Air. So he, yeah, yeah, he used to
That's
do
really
another
cool.
like,
That's a cool design.
yeah. So basically, the design behind like what he made was actually based off of a Kirby enemy, and just
Hmm.
put it onto a Kirby.
Hmm. So that the thing with the four arms that was already an enemy.
The arms itself was probably based off like some other like video game asset,
Oh,
but he
okay.
made it work into like the coloring stuff onto his Kirby.
Wow.
So yeah,
He-
basically this sort of style.
I feel like you guys could like make like side scroller games too, not just fighting games.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what actually I think what used to be back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Someone in the like a different part of the community, not in SoleRuin, made like a side-scrolling Kirby FC game. It was old,
Hmm.
but it was. It's not really like around on like the internet anymore, but it existed.
That's really cool. This is very inspiring. This conversation is very inspiring because I am, I guess, quote unquote a pro artist, and I'm always doing commissions every day, and
Yeah,
I don't have that much time to work on like my own stuff, the stuff that I dreamed of doing when I was a kid.
yeah,
Um, but to see a community that's like working on the stuff that they're really passionate about, it makes me want to like work on SPR and to like make like the dream sequences that I've always wanted to animate. I grew up watching
yeah,
Dragon Ball Z,
yeah. Same
and
here.
right, and the action sequences there to this day are unparalleled. I know there's a lot of Sakuga animation in like Naruto, new anime like Black Clover, classics
Oh
like
yeah,
One
definitely.
Piece, My Hero Academia, and each one has their own style of how the action works. But 90s Dragon Ball, like the way the characters move, the impact frames, um, the loops of just punching each other, the teleporting, like I know it's a result of the limited style that Japanese animators use. Um, but there's such beauty in the movement and the type of animation sequences that I want to do, and and the types of animation that a lot of people are doing in communities like SoleRuin and in Zetai, everywhere in every community. Um, a lot of these sequences that they do in action are inspired directly from by Dragon Ball, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, like you,
Well,
you can
yeah, like
tell, like a
sprite
lot of this.
animation was very inspired by Dragon Ball.
Yeah, yeah, like you can tell the way characters move, like when they power up, some of the sound effects they use. A lot of it is Dragon Ball.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say
Very much so.
completely, but there's a lot of inspiration there,
Yeah,
and
old sprite animation back in the day, especially from the Super Mario Bros. Z era, was
yeah,
highly like Dragon Ball Z inspired from like any sort of sprite animation.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just feeling the inspiration right now.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's something.
Um, do you? So I know that SoleRuin, apart from being a community, you guys have your own YouTube channel.
Yes.
So who's like managing the channel, and what kind of stuff do you guys upload on a regular
Uh,
basis?
Technically, like I'm managing the channel.
Oh,
AK doesn't really do much about managing it, but
hmm.
basically, we have people who contribute to the channel,
Oh, okay.
like such as Clover Leaf Palace. She manages the speed art like sort of thing for people to like submit and upload. So people can like submit like any art they like do any speed drawing and like recording of, and we just post it onto the SoleRuin channel.
Hmm. Do you?
Sometimes I forget to do like upload people's parts,
Oh, okay.
but yeah.
Do you guys have like a community login that you guys use so people can like upload
Yes,
videos? Oh, I see. I see.
yes, we have our own personal login for the YouTube channel,
Okay. Cool.
but I basically just manage things around on the YouTube channel, clean
So
things out sometimes.
since okay, a question. Since I am in the community, I'm not hugely active in the community. I just check it out
Uh-huh.
from time to time. But I have my own FC. If I did an animation, would you upload it on the channel?
Yes,
Dude, that's out. Dude,
we'd also promote it too, saying like this animation's made by this user.
I would love to participate.
Honestly, yeah, we definitely would post it and like
Yeah. This is just an idea. I don't know if I can follow through with this because I'm
Oh
so
yeah, no,
busy.
definitely. Yeah.
But I would have a lot of fun making a Baga animation, Kirby with a spatula, doing some action.
Honestly, if you could just make something like short and like, showing them off, it'd
Yeah,
work.
that would be so fun. You know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
put this on my to-do list. I'll do it right. I'll put it on my to-do list right now as some content. Because I have a ton of stuff that I need to do all the time. But SoleRuin, uh, Baga, action animation. I can do some. Maybe show off some of my skills.
Yeah, dude, like I could see how Buggo would be showed off and like at the end he's grinning holding a burger of his.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely see it. It doesn't have to like be super like, full anime production,
Yeah.
but I could see how you would show it off.
I would like to practice with this actually because I feel like in order to practice animation, you need a very simple character design. A lot of
Oh
times
yeah,
if you have
and especially since you're animating an orb.
right, yeah. And I wouldn't need to. It's just squash and stretch, really.
I can hand you like a reference of like the orb like body like sprite sheets of see how it works. I could do that.
Sure. Yeah, just
So
send me whatever.
yeah, so basically a lot of people who looked at SoleRuin and Kirby FC thought like, wow, this is very limited. Who can like animate a Kirby and
Uh huh.
stuff? But me and a couple of people worked together really hard to make an ultimate sprite sheet for Kirby.
Hmm.
As you can see, how many sprites it has.
Oh, I just realized. You know how in
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Kirby can become a stone,
Yes.
and that's usually when he absorbs like something with stone powers, right?
Yes.
Do any of the Kirby's characters that you guys have like have transformations?
Oh yeah, definitely all the time.
Oh, okay. Does yours have one or no?
No, no, mine
Okay,
does not have one
okay,
besides ultimate power.
okay. What kind of transformations do people come up with in Soul Ruin? Just
So
wondering.
for example, like my friend's Kirby character Thunder belongs
Hmm.
to Cloverleaf Palette. It's like a spoiler, but like he has like a transformation of like the evil dark matter inside him that
Oh,
like takes control.
wow,
So I guess that's the transformation of with dark matter.
that's intense.
It is intense. A lot of people typically would have like a Kirby that has dark in him,
Hmm.
or just entirely different. Like with an electrical character, they become even more electricity and like glowiness and like
Yeah.
fat. Yeah,
I think my guy would definitely turn into a burger,
yeah,
like a
dude.
fat, huge burger.
But wouldn't he lose if he gets eaten?
That's true. That's not a very useful power,
That is not useful.
especially against other Kirby's.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely. Like especially ones that love to eat.
Yeah. What about like a cannibalistic burger, like a burger, but it's like those ancient mimics, like treasure chests that turn into monsters. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah. I know those.
Yeah. What if it's a cannibalistic burger? Like Mike Kirby can turn into a burger, but it can like eat other people.
Oh, that's even better actually. Like
Yeah.
it's just a fake out burger.
Yeah, exactly, like a fake out burger.
Dude, he's yeah.
Then that's Baga's final form.
Dude, Bugga's final form is literally just like a burger that can like eat you and has teeth.
Yes, exactly. That's cool. I'm enjoying this.
The only like flaw there is that he actually tastes like a burger.
Yes, that's a weakness. That's a weakness. So I feel like fighting other Kirby's, this would be a very bad matchup.
Yes.
He would stick to his regular form, fighting other
Yeah.
Kirby's. Yeah. But if he were to fight other enemies, he would definitely become a burger
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
eat them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real good Kirby right there if I ever seen one.
I love it. Yeah, man. I am running out of time.
It's all good.
It has been a pleasure talking to you. I know we didn't really get to talk about. I mean, we talked about quite a bit of the history.
Yes.
Is there anything like in particular you want to like talk about first before we go?
Yes. The history of SoleRuin.
Hmm.
Back in the day, the artists and sprite people did not get along as well.
Oh,
But ever since like lately, since the SoleRuin community, the artists and like sprite animators or sprite Kirby creators have gotten along now.
oh, uh-huh.
It was very spread out and like it was different, but now we're all good.
You would say the community now is a lot more friendly, a lot
Oh
more.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot more friendly and a lot more better now these days.
Hmm.
But we worked hard to like get it to where it's at. Like a lot of us were like young kids,
Yeah.
we were meanies.
There must have been like a lot of like drama management,
Oh yeah,
basically.
definitely. There
Yeah.
definitely was. But not like ones that are big enough to like, stir everything up.
Hmm. Has there
But
ever been like potential for the community to be split apart or like to be broken apart or anything like that?
oh yeah, I was the cause of it
Oh,
actually.
oh no.
Well, I mean twice. I mean, there was me being a big like, butt, but and
Uh,
then there was me who also, took a vacation and people left.
oh snap! I have a question. This is really random.
Yeah, what's up?
I know that this is like a taboo topic when I brought it up in
Yeah.
SoleRuin because
Yeah.
some guy DM'd me. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Is it the one with, spamming words at you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that is very taboo. We do not want to like mention him in SoleRuin. He's a banned
We
topic.
don't talk. Oh wow, he's banned. Okay, okay,
Oh,
never
we don't
mind.
talk about him.
I'm just so curious because for me as a
I can tell you personally in DMs, but
okay.
not in public though.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying because for me as an outsider, I, I know that something
Wow, I
like
can't
that
believe he
can
got
be.
to you too.
I
That's
know that's
insane.
because he saw the podcast and he commented on my channel. I think well he either commented on my channel or he found my Discord and somehow DM'd me on Discord.
Yeah.
This guy,
Yeah.
whoever this is, I don't want to talk about him. You know, I don't want to talk about him. But
Yeah.
whoever it is militant.
Oh
Like,
yeah, you have no
yeah,
idea. That's
yeah,
a
you're right. I do have no idea.
oh yeah, that's why I feel it was just like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm
Uh
totally a random guy, and he got to me.
yeah, I know, that's the thing. He got to everybody. I
Wow,
could tell
that's
you like a
nuts.
lot more like after the podcast, but
Yeah, for sure, for
that's
sure.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically all I can say.
yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on. Moving on from this notorious guy.
Yeah.
Um, like the community is much friendly now. A lot of
Yes.
a lot of young kids coming in.
Yes. And I'm
Um,
basically their role model and I basically, show them like, my own kindness and that's kind of why they praise me a lot.
how do you would you say that you're on the lookout like for people, you know?
Yes. In fact, when I was gone, I basically was searching for like new people or like new
Mhm,
sprite animators like for Kirby and stuff and I basically be sending them the link into the like comment section being like, "Yo, join our community."
mhm. Wow. Okay. So you're actively on the lookout for like
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
blood, really.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm very inspired by this community because it's so big, so active, so passionate. I
And a
personally,
mixture of like pros and stuff too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All levels of skill. My dream to is to have my own personal like, you know, I have SPR. I want to
Yeah.
grow that. I want to promote it. I want my story to like reach a lot of people. I hope it's good. You know, I don't know. My comic is not popular, and sometimes I don't know if it's because it's not good or if it's because it just hasn't been marketed to very many people yet. But like, my dream is one day to have my own community of people who are like fans of my work and to like
Yeah.
talk to them about creative ideas. And there's so many people out there. There's a ton of people making webcomics. And one thing I don't see in the art community that much is people working together because everyone has their own ideas.
Yeah.
Um, but what I like about SoleRuin is that you guys are working together because there's a common there's a common interest, there's a common thread in that it's Kirby, and it could have been anything, and it just happens to be Kirby. And
Yes.
I think the beauty of it that I kind of realized in this conversation is that it could be anything, but what people need is a creative outlet. They need to be able to come up with their own ideas and
Yep.
express them. Yeah. And that's important.
It is.
Yeah.
And what I also think is important too is making collabs so people
Yes.
can like animate for it and just express of like, hey, look, we all worked together and made this cool thing.
Yeah, that's something I miss, or I don't even miss it because I've never really had it. I've done my own work so much. Like one day, I don't just want like fans to talk to. I want people to work with. You
Yeah,
know?
that's basically how I do it too.
Yeah.
That's that's what I love about SoleRuin is just that people are a fan of me,
Uh-huh.
but I don't see them as fans. I see them as friends, and I
Right.
just basically want to be nice to them and just like introduce them, show them around, help them, teach
Yeah.
them.
It's the collaboration that I love, and that I dream of to have one day, and I appreciate that you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good ending note for this conversation.
Yes.
And you want to give like your shout outs?
I want to give the shout out to all of you guys in SoleRuin for watching this. It means to my heart that you guys still are staying in this community to this day.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make this community even better in the future, and all the people who join. Thank you guys.
And I want to thank you, Sean, because I know it was Jumps who introduced me to the community first, and I was able to meet you. I was able to meet Assassinite, and I was able to like through this conversation, I'm able to immerse myself more into that world that you guys have.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. It's awesome, and thanks to you, I want to see more. And now that I have my own OC
Yeah, I know,
and
right?
my own Kirby FC, I can contribute to the
That's
collaboration.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining me. I had fun.
Ah, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right. See you later, or talk to you later.
Talk to you later, man.